Lesson 5, Unit 2. Project changes. What are the common sources of changes in a project? Changes are categorized into areas, problems, or opportunities, and the responses are reactive or proactive. Problems are issues that are affecting the project and you need to take an immediate action. Opportunities are situations that can help you improve the performance of the project. A reactive response is when you are presented with a problem and you need to make a change. A proactive response is when you identify a risk or a potential opportunity that will occur in the near future and you decide to take actions to avoid or increase the impact of the project. Unfortunately, most of the changes in a project will be from reacting to a problem. This approach is costly, and in some cases the solution may not be able to fully solve the problem. What you need is to have a better understanding of the sources for most changes, so that you work more on the opportunities proactive quadrant and spend less time on the problem reactive quadrant. Changes can come in different types. These are some of the most common. Beneficiaries' assumptions about their participation have changed. You need to stop activities and replan. A significant risk forces a change in the schedule of activities. You need to reschedule the work. Adding a partner requires changes to the scope, and you need to change the team responsibilities. Increasing costs due to inflation causes a reduction in the budget, and you need to propose a reduction in the scope of the project. The participatory approach is not producing the desired results. You need to make changes in the communications and stakeholder strategies. And even a global pandemic forces to rethink the project evaluation, and you need to find alternative methods to evaluate the project. Sources to identify changes come from the following: changes caused on the project constraints, changes in the log frame, midterm evaluations, feedback from stakeholders, the after-action review meetings, lessons learned captured in each cycle, changes in assumptions, change caused by risk and issues, and opportunities identified by the project team. An effective monitoring system can provide with timely data that allows opportunity analysis of the project constraints. These are the scope, schedule, budget, and quality constraints that define how the project is using its resources efficiently to achieve its goal. For example, the earned value analysis looks at the delivery of outputs and compares it to the plan to identify any variances. The analysis can also help forecast future costs and schedule delays. For example, the chart shows that the actual cost is higher than the planned cost. If this continues, the project might need more funds to complete. This might require a change in the budget or the scope. The indicators from the logical framework are used on the monitoring plan to determine the progress the project makes in achieving its targets. The monitoring plan includes information on the targets, the milestones the project expects to achieve, and the progress it makes. Deviations from the plan are warning signs that something is wrong and you need to take action. For example, the plan shows that by month 3 the project should have reached 60% progress on indicator 1, but the actual data shows that only 30% progress has been made. This may require a change in the scope to add more activities to or to increase the number of registered participants. Midterm evaluations are an excellent opportunity to get valuable information that can help determine the status of the project. Most midterm evaluations focus on process, which is the evaluation of the efficiency of the project in completing the activities and delivering the planned outputs. The midterm evaluation findings will include recommendations for changes in the project, especially on areas to improve the efficiency. This might include training of team members, improvements in communications, increased participation of stakeholders, and changes to plans to reduce risk and avoid waste of resources. Stakeholders are a rich source for ideas and suggestions for changes that can help improve the project. Stakeholders include the project beneficiaries, project partners, administrative support, local government officials, and other organizations supporting the project. It is always a good idea to include them in regular meetings to present the progress of the project, present them the current challenges, and discuss ideas to help improve the project. For example, the procurement officer may suggest ideas to reduce the cost of shipping materials to the project. The after-action review meetings at the end of each cycle are opportunities to identify changes that can help reduce or avoid future problems. This is when the team takes a time to reflect on the experiences from the previous cycle and identify what can be used in the next cycle. For example, the team might find out that they need more time to increase their visits to the field to improve their relationships with the project participants. Lessons learned are usually documented at the end of the project, but you don't need to wait for that long. You can capture lessons learned on a regular basis, and they are a source of ideas and suggestions to improve the project and avoid past mistakes. You can also use the lessons from past projects. Some organizations keep a record of project lessons that can provide valuable ideas that project managers can use and apply on their current projects. All assumptions can change. Assumptions are the positive factors the project considers to be true, real, or certain. Every project assumption poses a potential risk that may not be true. The longer is the project, the higher the probability that an assumption may change. For example, a project assumption that 100 participants will join the training sessions. If the enrollment only shows 50 participants, then there is a need to change the activity by either postponing to a later date or creating an additional session. A risk is an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, will have a negative impact on the project's objectives. Because of its uncertainty, risks can change over the life of the project. During the planning phase, a risk may have been evaluated to have a low risk factor, but it can change later and become a high risk factor. New risks are also going to be discovered, and that will create the need to develop actions to avoid or reduce the impact of the risk. This means changes to the schedule, budget, and even scope. When a risk occurs, it becomes an issue. An issue is an event or condition that has already happened and has impacted or is currently impacting the project objectives. Issues occur all the time, and the solution will require resources that in some cases are not readily available by the project. For example, a delay in the project requires a solution to work on two activities at the same time, but that will require hiring a consultant since there are no team members available to do that extra work. Issues can cause changes in all project constraints and on all project plans. Opportunities are the events or conditions that can have a positive impact on the project's objectives. They are harder to predict than risks, but they are usually discovered as the team searches for solutions to common problems. For example, there's an opportunity to join forces with a local nonprofit to reduce the cost of collecting data. If this opportunity is taken, the project can save resources and that can be used in other areas. The change will affect the budget and the team responsibilities. As a project manager, you need to evaluate each opportunity for its probability and impact on the project. Opportunities presented to the project can be classified using a matrix similar to this risk matrix. The vertical axis measures the level of effect or positive impact to the project. The horizontal axis measures the level of probability that the opportunity will be beneficial to the project. The matrix marks a probability index in red for those that have low probability and low effect, and on the other extreme, green, for those that have high probability and high impact. This is a tool that you can use to classify the opportunities and concentrate only on those that have the highest level of probability and effect. Red, low index value. The probability and impact are low. It's better not to pursue this opportunity, but you should monitor in case the values change. Yellow. Probability and impact values are medium. It's an opportunity to consider, but maybe more analysis may be needed. Green. Probability and impact are high. This is a very good opportunity to take now. Changes will be made to exploit or enhance the opportunities. The use of the following chart can help in the analysis of the opportunities and choose those that have a higher probability of delivering a positive impact to the project. This analysis helps concentrate the project resources only on those opportunities that are worth investing. Another tool to help make a decision amongst the many opportunities is the impact effort matrix. This is an analysis of the opportunities available to the project by the benefit they can provide and the cost or effort needed to implement. You should consider those opportunities that have high benefit but low cost, and disregard those opportunities that have high cost but low benefit.